Hello guys, welcome to Real Talk Kenya. So sijui kama you've actually realized that tunakuwaga na this cycle in Kenyan politics enye unapata kunakuwaga na fierce disagreements enye unapata kama gava pengine ime come up na this policy ama ime come up na this issue and then inakuwa na some opposition, and then after this opposition, which again pia ni fierce, so there's this policy, there's this meet this opposition, and then kunakuwa na some friction, and then after some time kunakuwa na kitu kama a resolution. So yeah, which most of the time inaendingi up kwa some handshake. That's because politics inakuwaga na this inakuwaga run na this philosophy inaitwa the Hegelian Dialectic. And the Hegelian Dialectic ilikuwa developed na mse anaitwa Hegel. That's something ambao unaweza search kwa Google, and it's actually something enye politicians are actually taught in school. Anybody who amefanya political science wanafunzwa that Hegelian dialectic. And what the Hegelian dialectic is about is that kuna a problem, and then unaangalia reaction ya wase to this problem, and then you create a solution. So this problem ambao na creating in the first place inaitwa ndio the thesis, and then the reaction of the people ama the reaction ambao unakuja unapata inaitwa the antithesis, and then the result of this friction inakuwa synthesis, which huwa ita incorporate ile kitu ambayo the problem ilikuwa nayo and also what this opposition imekuwa nayo. So yeah, that is the Hegelian dialectic. And so ukiangalia vile imeoperate hapa Kenya, for instance, we have to go back to the colonial period where there was this white man mwenye alicreate that problem enye ni colonialism, but then walikuja wakamit this opposition by sisi wa Afrika, and then walikuja wakatoka from our countries. In some countries walibaki, but then tukakuja tukabaki na synthesis, na hii synthesis ukikuja angalia vizuri, it's just some aspects of ile rule ya mzungu na some aspects zenye zilikuja na rule ya Mwafrika. So it's just a merger of the white man's rule and the black man's rule. And then after colonialism, after tumepata independence, tulikuja tukaona the situation na KANU, and vile ilikuja ka face opposition again, and then tukakuja tukapata parties like NARC, which ilikuwa different guys in the opposition coming together and then forming this party so that to fight the ruling party. Again ukuja uangalie in 2007 where you had Kibaki, and then you had the opposition Raila, friction. We had the post-election violence, and then we had the handshake. Again, unakuja to 2013 and then 2018, where again you have a similar situation where kuna the government, and then you have the opposition party again. Kunakuwa na maandamano and friction and all that, and then you have a handshake. Again, nakuja to 2022, 2023 and 2024, where you have something similar again. Policies za gava zenye gava ina introduce the reaction ya the opposition inakuja inagas wase, and then kunakuwa na hiyo maandamano and all that, and then you have a synthesis, some form of a handshake. And actually this is something ambayo sikuwahi fikiria that itaweza fanyika kwa the current government, because the current president Ruto and even Gachagua walikuwa wameona the dangers of the government and the opposition becoming one of these dangers ni there are a lot of ills zenye zitafanyika and zitaenda unchecked because the opposition wako kwa gava. But unfortunately ilikuja ikafanyika hivyo because tuliona like in as much as kulikuwa na that bad blood between the current regime na the opposition, still at the end of the day kulikuwa na friction and then kukakuwa na a synthesis where now we have people in the opposition being in government. And after kuangalia everything ambayo imekuja ikafanyika after the Gen Z protests, I now understand why unakuja unapata there is actually some hostility, and this hostility in as much as ina come from gava, it's also coming from the opposition, and that is because these two parties are not very happy with the Gen Z movement, and this is why vitu zinakujaga zinafanyika but huwa zina favor these people wenye wana run hizi movements, you see. So like for example gava, opposition, synthesis, opposition inapata kitu and gava pia inapata njia yake fulani, utaona na policies zake. For instance unakuja unapata the same stuff zenye akina Mbadi walikuwa wanakashifu hiyo time ambao walikuwa opposition, right now hawakashifu those things. Right now kumekuwa na hizo rumors here and there's a return of the finance bill ya 2024. We don't know to what degree that is true, but the fact that haikui voiced sana, the fact that haipingwi sana right now na the opposition is just to show you the nature of this politics ya the Hegelian dialectic. Ni this synthesis inakuaga just a measure of the components za ile problem and then some components of this solution. And with the Gen Z protests there's something different that took place, and that is kulikuja kwa kuwa na a third party, because you had the government inasema mambo na increase taxes, uchumi already ilikuwa mbaya, ilikuja ikapush the opposition ikaanza kuorganize protests and all that. Tuliona like hizo protests vile zilikuwa and they were like every single day, like there was this aspect of unity around that time that kidogo haikuwa witnessed vile, because this was a problem ambayo ilikuwa inaguzia kila msee. So this was actually a reaction ya kuonyesha just how mad people were at easy policies za gava and these different things zenye gava ilikuwa inafanya, and kidogo ilikuwa inakaa because they had numbers, you see, like anything ambao wasa walikuwa wanataka kufanya wangeweza kufanya because they had numbers, walikuwa na MP sound, walikuwa majority. So anything ambayo prezo angetaka kufanya angeambia to the MPs kwamba nataka tupitishe hii and then wangepitisha. So and that was really frustrating, and so that's why the opposition ilikuja ikaamka ikasema no, we have to do something about it. So wase wakamka, and then like you guys saw the protests and they were very successful. And then now we had the finance bill 2024 wakati ilikuja ikakuwa introduced, and then it was like it was being shoved down people's throats. The opposition was really against it, and then what happened is Gen Z walikuja wakaipick from the opposition. The young people walikuja wakamka wakasema, wakaanza kueducatiana about the dangers of the finance bill 2024, and just as people had expected, the MPs walikuja wakaipitisha, and then we had the protests za July, which were very successful. It actually shook the government. It actually shook the MPs because wale feeling like they could actually get away with it, that once imepitishwa it's final, there's nothing that can be done. But then the protests zilikuja zikaingia, and then you guys saw what happened. Ilibidi ikaekwa kando so that vitu zisi-escalate. But then that is where things actually went wrong, because there was somebody else mwenye alikuja akakuwa na power, mwenye now wasn't the opposition. Because hizi miaka zote tumejuanga that the opposition itaandaa maandamano, And then after maandamano, these guys sit down and then they talk and then they have agreements. Zile problems zenye zilikuwa zimefanya kukue na maandamano in the first place, unapata kama there's nothing that is actually done. Those problems still remain there. So unakuja unashinda like, why did you guys what was the resolution that you guys had so that so that in as much as ile problem bado iko, for some reason you guys are now cool are now cool with this situation. So ni agreements gani ndio mmemake, unaona? So probably maybe ni pesa ndio zilikuwa exchange hands, you never know. And that's why during these coalitions ulikuwa napata kama wase kama kina Martha Karua, wase kama kina Mudavadi, wase kama Kalonzo walikuwa na problem na Raila because walikuwa na feeling like this guy alikuwa na should change every single time that kuna maandamano, these guys go out together and then wanaandamana, but then kunakuwa na agreement between Raila and the regime ambayo iko at that time, you see. So yeah, hivyo ndio imekuaga, but then with the Gen Z ilikuja kuwa somewhat different because the Gen Z hawezi, there is no way enye unaweza kuja useme kwamba this is their leader, wacha tukae na the leader, wacha to make these deals with the leader, wacha to pay the leader so that hii story itulie. No, haikufanyika hivyo, and that was a pain in the neck for the government, and that was also a pain in the neck for the opposition. You guys also saw how Raila pia alijaribu kidogo kuingilia story, kuambia Gen Z wakuwe na dialogue and all that.
But I'm happy to confirm that we have had consultations, and after extensive consultations we have agreed that a dialogue is the way forward out of the crisis that we're having today in our country. We agreed that we give people an opportunity to be heard, to express themselves, to come out with the grievances which are actually ailing our country today, so that a lasting solution can be found. Because of restrictions of resources or limitation of resources, we've agreed that everybody else will bear their cost of.
Akaona kama situation ni ngumu kidogo, akuja akasema that yeye hataki mambo na mazungumzo, kama watu wafanye vile wanataka. So hata yeye mwenyewe alikuja akashindwa. So it was like the opposition kidogo ilikuwa inajaribu kucontrol the Gen Z movement. Tuliona leaders kama waseka Babu Owino wakijaribu ku-identify na Gen Z. Uliona waseka kama Baba during hizi times za Kware murders, zile bodies zilipatikana huko, alikuja alienda huko, and it's like alikuwa anajaribu sana kushow Gen Z that he's part of their movement, but the Gen Zs wouldn't have any of it. Like the Gen Zs did not trust the opposition, the Gen Zs did not trust any politician katikati yao, because walikuwa najua that you guys are here because mnataka something, and once mmekuja mkapata do ama mka-make agreements na gava, then this thing itaenda hivyo, and Gen Z hawakuwa wanataka hii story yote. So yeah, kidogo ikabidi the opposition ikuje fall back, iache Gen Z ifanye kitu inafanya. But now when you have that, it means you are now going to be a problem, because you see around this time again gava ilikuja ika reach out to opposition, and then Ruto na Raila wakakuwa na kitu kama handshake tu. Basically it's just a handshake, because Raila kidogo alikuja kaingia gava, and today as you can see his people, wale wasenye walikuwa opposition right now wako kwa gava. So now when you have that, then it means Gen Z wanakuwa the new antithesis. Hao ndio wanakuwa the new opposition, and the problem is that they don't have a leader. Tumeona wase kama kina Morara, Makoure wakijaribu kuwa the face of the Gen Z movement, but this is something it was just an outrage the young people walikuwa na feel, because it was this frustration ambao wase wako nayo manze, like umemaliza shule, hakuna jobo, uchumi ni mbaya, unajaribu sana ucreate content, uweke YouTube and all that, and then kuna taxes ambazo zinakuwa introduced, hata zile hustle zako ndogo ndogo taxes zinaekwa, and then like you are really frustrated. It was just this frustration ambayo the youth walikuwa nayo, and it was that frustration ambayo ilikuja ka lead to hizo protests za July. So now that is a concept ambayo imeshinda gava and even the opposition to fully comprehend, because again, when there's this force ama there's this power enye there is no way to control, you drive these people crazy, because opposition ingeza kutumia hiyo so that waeke mse, so that wakuwe na a very powerful candidate wa 2027, ama the government ingeza kutumia that force so that waweze kusecure votes za 2027. But then the problem is the Gen Z hawataki anything to do with the opposition. Gen Z hawataki anything to do with government, and that is something that is really driving the government crazy at the moment. So that's why mekuja mkona like kumekuwa na hizo abductions which wase wamekuwa wakisema that ni gava, and right now about I think 5 out of 6 tayari wameshakuwa released, but then there are also others wenye nilikuwa nimeona leo asubuhi like ni wangapi, karibu watatu ama wanne wenye bado hatujui pali wako, hawajakuwa released, na kidogo inapatia wasiwasi, but hizo zimekuwa tu just measures zenye gava inachukua, desperate measures zenye gava inachukua, because again this is a new threat enye all these political leaders wameface, like wamekuwa kizoea, like ukikuja angalia the current regime, it's just composed of people ambao walikuwa kwa opposition at some point. Ukiangalia for example Ruto na Raila walikuwa together during ile time ya 2007. Basically that's it. The young people ndio the current opposition right now, and wamekuwa successful in some of these things. For instance, hiyo story ya finance bill kuangushwa, it was a success to the Gen Z movement, to the young people. History ya these abductions ambazo zimefanyika and people have been released, it's also a win for the Gen Z. I feel like as we approach 2027, there will be some changes definitely, because Ruto will still want to go back to power. Tataka bado kuwa preso in 2027. So definitely kutakuwa na some changes. Tactics zao zita change, because again Ruto is a very clever politician, but again he's also facing a new challenge, and that is Gen Z. Hizi time zote tumekuwa tukizoea kama wase na feel some type of way wataenda kwa streets, and then after streets that's it, but then there's just this call, there's just this noise ambayo ina ring kwa kichwa ya preso saa zote, and that is social media, because kama si memes, kama si silhouettes, kuna nyimbo, and so it's something it's really frustrating. Hata ukikuja angalie his body language akiongea the other day kwa rally, as much as alisema that hiyo ni mzuri tu, hiyo ni nyimbo imekuwa, you can see the frustration in his face, because this is a disease and there's nothing he can actually do to cure, because the young people are trolling. Hakuna kitu mbaya kama trolling, because there's nothing that you can do, because the more unajaribu kujidefend, the more you're trolling itaendelea. The more unajaribu saa zingine hata kufanya kitu mzuri, the more the trolling itaendelea, because like people don't forget, and so the only thing ambayo inakuja inabaki ni you just decide to get used to it, to decide to that you don't care anymore, but in real sense you actually care. So that's why hizi abductions ziko, because kama the president doesn't really care, then these abductions hazingekuwa, angeacha tu like life ikuwe normal. But the fact that these abductions zimekuwa and all that simply means that he's actually bothered, and I believe that the president is going to to switch tone yake moving forward as we head to 2027, because atataka the support of the Gen Z. You guys remember that wakati Uhunye na Raila walikuwa kitu kimoja, tulijua for sure that Raila was going to win, but the fact that he did not win was because of the support. The reason why he did not win was because of the support enye Ruto alipata, and that was the support of the young people, the hustlers. He appealed to them. Walikuja wakaona msee mwenye wanashare na yeye some experiences, because he was not coming from any known family. Yeye ni msee alikuwa anauza kuku at some point, and then akakuja kaumoka tu, so like the youth walikuja waka-identify na hiyo struggle yake, and that is why he easily became the president. Like easily alikuja akapata support ya the women, alikuja akapata support ya the church, alikuja akapata support ya the young people, and that's a sure way for you to win. But then now in 2027 kidogo dynamics zinamkalia tofauti kidogo, because the church is condemning you 24/7. The church is telling you not to make more promises and actually act on the ones that you made previously. So the church actually wants nothing to do with you, hadi wanakurudishia do yako. And then the youth ndio wana control kwa internet 24/7. So, and the women pia, they are not really with you, because wanaona kama you are persecuting their children. So kidogo dynamics haziko kwa favor ya Prezo at the moment, and that's why I think that he's going to actually change moves zake moving forward as we head to 2027. And one thing that I feel low-key inamwaribia is also the people that are around the president, because for some reason ukikuja uangalie reactions za wase kama Ishongwa, wase kama Atuoli, kuna kwaka na like we understand i concept ya as kissing, cause unataka ukue in good books, unataka ukue na good relationship na your leader, so that is understandable. But then ukuja uangalie ile extent ambayo akina Ishongwa wanakuja napeleka hii support yao to the president, is looking, I feel like they're actually working against him, because one thing ambayo a president anatakaga siku zote is people to sing praises anytime ambao amemcheki, anataka wase washangilie. But then when you have this very bad relationship ambayo ina exist kati ya the people that are around you with the people that you're actually trying to win to your side, then kidogo that relationship inakuwa strained. So I feel like akina Ishongwa probably they know what they're doing, because we've seen the hostility ambayo ilikuwa kati ya Gachagua na Uhuru. Who knew that siku moja Gachagua atakuja aombe Uhuru msamaha, you see, na kuja aseme that hatukujua, sisi tulidhani ya kwamba tulikuwa tunafanya the right thing, kumbe tulikuwa tunafanya the wrong thing, because that is how politicians, like, they know how to play their cards, you see. So I know for a fact that it's actually easy for Gachagua for Ishongwa to flip in the next few months, and then arudi back to his people, and then his people watamkubali, because at the end of the day atakuja aseme that wajua mimi nilikuwa na side no mseso cause nilikuwa nataka maendeleo, and I can tell you for a fact that Ishongwa has really developed area yake, like barabara zimejengwa, and like lami imekuwa hadi kwa machoche. That is how Ishongwa is really working, and that's why he has this relationship na wase wake yenye ni more of a bittersweet relationship, yenye they hate the things zenye anasema, but one thing that they'll say about him is that this guy is really working. So in 2027 I doubt if there is a leader mwenye Kikuyu itakuja iweke against Ishungwa. Ishungwa will easily win because of the amount of work yenye anaweka kwa area yake, so it's easy for him to flip, and that's why I feel like they're actually working against the president, and they're doing it deliberately because these people understand politics. They understand that ule mse mwenye today una support, kesho 100% anaweza atakuwa against you, and we've seen it with Ruto and Gachagua. We've seen it Ruto and this other guy anaitwaje, he was really vocal ile time ya Ruto, ile time ya Uhunye, na sau na jinake. Yeah, the guy, like, he hasn't spoken, hajakuja akasema mind yake that this is what I feel about history ya Gachagua kutaka kuwa impeached, ama history ya Gachagua kuwa impeached. Hajasema mind yake, and already people are feeling some type of way about it because of his silence, because these politicians always know what happens. You see, they understand politics and understand the game play in our king, so it's easy for them to actually flip in the next few months, and then Ruto atakuwa amebaki peke yake. And so I feel like they're actually doing that deliberately. Akina Tuli, they just want to put this bad taste kwa mdome wase, so that wase wasikuwe na anything positive to say about the president na wase wake. I believe that's why Ruto ukisikia vile anaongea kwa hizi events and all that, he's actually very careful with wording yake. Hataki kusema stuff yenye itakera. Like, ukiangalia vitu anasema and compare to what akina Ishungwa wanasema and what akina Tuli wanasema, those are two different things. Like, ni statements from two different worlds. One is from somebody mwenye ako very cautious, very careful about kitu atasema, and ako very cautious and careful about image yake, and this other side ni wale wase wenye, like, they don't really care. And hadi unaweza fikia like these people, inawezekana kwamba they don't understand the language ya ground ama nini, cause you'd think that mse mwenye anajua what mwenye ameka masiki yake kwa ground ata realize that people are very 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 angry, and the last thing you want to do is say something about it is going to piss these people off. Yet akina Ishungwa na akina Tuli are doing just that, you see. I feel like these people are really working against the president, and they're doing it deliberately. And the president, Loki ni kama anajua, because again, he's not a fool. Ruto anajua everything that is happening. He knows what these people are doing. And that's why he's also seeking the support of wase kama akina Raila. He's really trying to get the support of that region, because anajua kidogo 2027 itakuwa ngumu if he's going to need the help of akina Ishungwa, because these people can easily turn against him and go to their people na kuja aseme mazisi tulikuwa tuna support mse so that tupate ndio yenye tuliwafanyia nayo hapa maendeleo and all that. So yeah, basically that's it, guys. The Gen Z movement is a big movement. It's something yenye Raila does not know what to do about it. He can't do anything about it. He can't control it, and that is really difficult for the opposition to comprehend. At the same time, it's also this movement yenye gawa imeshindwa kucontain. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Peace.